This is Jeff with Eternity Shore, and I am in my house trying to finish this video for you guys. And let me tell you, this has been a disjointed boating season. Season 4 has been disjointed. So if you don't like watching the videos, I can understand, because I'm all over the place because of all these issues and all these problems. I'm just going to introduce this video with many thanks to Ken, our boat neighbor, who helped us solve the ridiculous hose problem that we had in our portside engine. It is July 15th, and yesterday was the day, July 14th was the day that we got this guy in the mail. This is 386-2523. Hose for our Volvo Penta 5.7 GI engines, 2004. This guy was this guy until this guy split as we're headed to Solomon's this year. Our longest trip ever got derailed by that. So I was so excited that it finally came in the mail, because I've got a couple trips coming up this week. Now, I got freaked out when it came because it came in a smaller box, and you might notice the length is different. Don't worry about that for now. But can you see this thickness versus this? This is from the Theater of the Insane. The part number you see on the right is exactly identical to the part number of the hose on the left. The hose on the left is the original, and it's shorter, you notice, just because it was been cut off, because there's this bypass or attachment. Not really a bypass, but that sends warm water from the intake hose into our hot water heater and back over. So that's why the length is different. However, what I want you to see that's different is the width of the inner diameter of these two hoses is not the same, despite what Volvo Penta may say. The inner diameter of the hose that they sent me is 1 3/4. The inner diameter of the hose that I have is 1 5/8. But now the problem for me is, because this hose needs to be shorter, if I cut it off, then I'm going to the middle section of this new hose, which is now thinner than the previous hose, because they're not the same width throughout the length of the entire hose. So now, if I cut it, how am I going to get it to go around the other part of the engine? So you'll see, basically this episode is, how do we figure out how to put a somewhat square peg into a round hole? That's this hose right here. You can see that goes around here, attaches down here to this hose, which has this splitter, and that goes to the hot water heater, which the right way is up here, but then it's shaped differently down there. That fits on there the way it should, and then we have to reach all the way down here, tighten it that way. So this is going to kind of stick out, kind of a lot of pressure sticking out there. It's coming in kind of an angle, and I'm worried here there's a gap of about almost, I would say, 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to double clamp this, and we'll try it. I've double clamped that there, wraps around, bows out a little bit, and I've double clamped it there, and I tightened that as well. Didn't double clamp that one. So now we got to try it. So I ran the engines here for a little while. I got the RPMs about 1500, 2000, and there weren't any leaks. However, it wouldn't last long. You might recall from my last video with my dad that the following happened here. I'll show you that clip so you can see that, in essence, this didn't last, and so we needed to find another solution to the problem. I had replaced this hose, but the hose is long and it came right off. I had fixed it, put 2 clamps on it,
Came right off.
At the end of our trip, we encountered my neighbor, Ken, who ended up being the guy to handle the problem. So what you're about to see is Ken doing the best he could to put the square peg in the round hole.
All right, I'm going to film this because I'm fascinated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try to stretch it. It's not like it's metal. All right, so our optimal spot of this is pretty much right here is where we really would want to cut this.
That's right.
To make it like
Right.
really happy.
Right.
All right, so all we need to do first is pretty much bury this guy.
Okay.
What I'm kind of thinking.
I can edit everything else. I can edit everything
You
out.
see how easy that went?
Right?
Remember before I couldn't even get
Right.
it in there?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Ready? It's the boring spot of the video.
Okay.
We're just gonna set that there.
That's step 1-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, but remember I tried it first without any lube on it?
Right.
It wouldn't even go in.
Right. What do you got? How much is in there?
It's bad.
About right there.
Yeah. I mean, but it's definitely stretching.
Mm-hmm.
So I think. I know I just got this
Mm-hmm.
all the way to there.
Mm-hmm. You want to open it up one more time?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
What do you think, Jeff? Right there, we'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I got to do one clamp maybe. What do you think?
Well, there's that part.
Yep.
So, it's weird they had 2 clamps on that.
Because it's not.
I can
Try to get 2.
I'll get it down there.
All right, let's
to
get.
where it was.
All right, we'll get you one
If
more.
we
Give
can.
you one more. Lose one more year off your life.
No.
1.5 inch difference.
I think so.
I don't even have footage of me reattaching the hose because my dad and I left right away. I reattached the hose whenever I went out again, and we have not had one single problem since then with the hose on the port side. The next major thing that happened to us is on the starboard side engine. The starboard side engine, we had a power steering leak like we did on the port side engine, at least I thought we did. I had my mechanic replace the power steering oil cooler on the starboard side because I thought that's where the leak was, and he did too. Unfortunately, the leak was still there because the power steering oil cooler wasn't the problem. It's actually the power steering ram all the way in the back of the boat that's leaking. You'll see that in an episode. I'm just going to have one episode of that problem being developed so you can see it. It has not been solved yet. I've been weeks trying to get someone to actually do the work. So in the meantime, we've been running on one engine, been running on the port side engine. Up until the point of this video that you just watched, we've been running on the starboard engine, basically. So the summer has been running on one engine on either the port or the starboard. Now, thankfully, that has not prevented us from getting a lot of people on the boat. That's been really fun. But what it has prevented us from doing is going on any long trips at all. So far, it is now beginning of September, and we've only been up to Northeast Maryland, which was a great trip, which you should check out over there. But besides that, been just dinking and dunking around basically the Middle River the entire time. Maybe we'll be able to go someplace late in the season. We'll see how that shakes out. Fingers crossed, trying to get someone to replace the power steering ram on the starboard engine. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging in on this very, very difficult fourth season. It has not been very fun. I still love the boat. We still love to get out on it, but it has been an incredibly challenging season. Thanks again for watching faithfully. If you watch my videos and have not subscribed, this would be a great time to subscribe. Cheer me up, give me a subscription, and maybe even watch an ad. Help pay off some of these expenses of mechanical expenses, boating expenses. Crazy. All right, enjoy your comments. Take care. Bye.